All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakodash. That's all praise to the Heavenly Father. His true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, and his son's name, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, real name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Also want to give praise, honor, and glory to the Yahweh Kakodash, the Holy Spirit, which is the force and entity that makes this edification possible. I want to say Shalom to all you sister heart of Ahchyam, or Akwath, that's you brothers and sisters. Let's make your bodies a living sacrifice on a daily basis in this wicked and adulterous generation. I also want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us truth and who rule well. And today, I just want to do a quick lesson. So like you just want to do a quick lesson. To pretty much, let me pull up the screen here to, exhort and comfort the Ahchyam, why Akwath, to continue, fighting, continue to keep pushing. Because as it's written here in the book of Lamentations, 4th chapter, right? Lamentations 4 and verse 22, it says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sin. So we're, us so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, starting with the elect, right? Lord willing, we be a part of that number, that precious number, the elect. Hey, our sorrows is done, man. We just have to continue to push through these final hours, this final little duration of time, in this captivity that we're in. But it's already written, man, that our captivity is almost done. After this, we won't have to go into captivity again. And then it's time for Esau, Edom, all right, to go into captivity and to where his sins are discovered, to where he's exposed for who he truly is, and he has a drink of the cup, right? So while we're waiting for our captivity to be done, right, it's commanded of us, for in due time to be doing what? Doing his work, man, doing it in patience and fervency. This is Galatians chapter 6. And verse 9, it says, and let us not be, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna skip up here to verse 7. It says, be not deceived, Yahweh B'Shem Shah is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. And this is why 2/3 of our own people of so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American descent will be put to death, right? And of course the heathens, right? Because what the world promotes is you to sow unto your flesh, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. And these are all the things that Esau, Edom pushes forth out of his kingdom, man. And this is why we have to continue to stay rooted in the spirit, to stay walking in the spirit, as the previous chapter, Galatians, the 5th chapter, tells us, man. Because the second we get our eyesight, off of the spirit, when we get unplugged from, the circle of truth, the sanctuary, and we start to dabble in, things of this world, well, then eventually that's going to reap what? We're going to reap you'll reap corruption, which is pretty much, destruction at the end of the day, by fire. Because that's how the Heavenly Father said that he's going to take Esau out of power. It's by fire. The Lord's going to come, with his chariots and whirlwind of fire, right? You don't want to be caught up in that, right? So this is not a suggestion, it's not a suggestion that, you should walk in the flesh. I mean, Salaki, you should walk in the spirit. You should keep patience, right? As a matter of fact, let me pull that up too. It's a commandment, man. We have to continue to have this patience. We have to continue to keep fighting, to keep pushing. Yahweh B'Shem Shah is a man of war, right? So he set it up, for us to fight or to war, between good and evil, to fight the good fight of faith, as Paul said, right? And it's all going to pay off. And we're starting to see little portions of this dividend paying off now in the form of us having a sound mind, when the rest of these people are bugged out, right? They don't have a sure footing in life. They're just going with emotions, right? They know, that these jobs don't mean nothing, but yet they still are compelled to invest their life in these particular jobs, their families, their homes, right? But they can't help but to do what they do because the spirit is not dealing with them. So they can't sow to the spirit. All they can do is sow to the flesh, which henceforth they're just waiting for their corruption. They're waiting for their destruction, man. Right? But it says, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the spirit, right? And how do you sow to the spirit? Right? You pray, you fast, you meditate, you stay around the Ahchyam, right? You continue to watch these videos, as scriptures say in Sirach, the 6th chapter. Let's grab that real quick. Sirach 6 and verse 35, start at verse 34. Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise. This is a part of you sowing to the spirit. You stand in the multitude of the elders, and Yahweh Shema Shah got it set up to where, we have examples today to where we can look at, our forefathers and even, current living examples, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, they still pushing this word, after, years upon years, and so through that, they've gained experience, they gained wisdom, of course, knowledge and understanding. So now, right, the spirit has made it readily accessible for us, and easier for us to sow into the spirit by standing in the multitude of the elders, right, and cleave unto him that is wise. Be willing, right, be willing to hear. And the way how you're willing is what you circumcise your mind, right? You put away the flesh, right? Because the flesh don't want you to be willing unto the things of the spirit. The flesh wants to hear, trap music all day. The flesh want to hear, drama all day. The flesh want to see those things as well, man. See? So it's a fight to be in this truth, but yet it's if you stand fast and hold, what you've been given, as Yahweh says in Revelation 3 and 11, hey man, hey, you're gonna be found in good case. You're gonna get that salvation. You're gonna be in right standings with Yahweh Shema Shah, and you're gonna get this rulership, man. All right, it says, be willing to hear every godly discourse, right? These video epistles, right? Studying, reading, right? And let not the parables of understanding escape thee. And if you see a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. You constantly be found there, man. Every morning, as soon as you wake up, there's a video playing in your house, right? If you at work, if your job permits you, put in earphones or whatever, and you constantly wearing out the foot. I mean, you constantly wearing out the steps, the doors, of these teachers that Yahweh Shema Shah set up to feed us. All right, it says, let thy mind be upon the ordinances of Yahweh and Yahweh Shema Shah, and meditate continually in his commandments. That's right, man. Constantly thinking about this truth, constantly thinking about these scriptures. All right. What he tell Joshua in Joshua 1 and 8, when you meditate upon these things, then you're going to have good success, man. That's how you're going to be truly successful in this life and the next life to come, man. It's all centers around you sowing in the spirit, not giving up, being persistent, being consistent. Right. And another example that comes off mind is Noah, man. Noah was out there faithfully, man. Faithfully. Rain, shine, sleet, snow. Well, it wasn't rain back then, but it's just a figure of speech, pretty much just being instant in season and out of season. But Noah was out there building that ark, man, for approximately 120 years, right? And hey, whether the times were favorable or not, he was consistent, and through that he saved himself, he saved his household, and he has an everlasting memorial, man. Right. And because Noah did what he did, right, we're here. We're here because Noah was obedient, man. See, the fact that you're living, especially as an Israelite, well, really all these nations, but especially as Israelites, because we're the ones who Yahweh Shema Shah really cares for. The fact that we're living, we're in our right mind. Hey, that's your fruit of a man being obedient and consistent. And through the spirit, the brother Ahchyam did a video about that this morning, about being consistent in his work. And it's going to equal a great reward. And Noah is a yapa, meaning beautiful example of that, man. So he says, he shall establish thine heart, meaning stabilize your mind, man. And that's what we need. We need to stabilize mind, but it comes with you meditating upon his word. He shall establish thy mind or heart and give thee wisdom at thy own salakia, and give thee wisdom at thy own desire, man. Just as Solomon got wisdom at his own desire, but it started with him what? Praying for it, man. Meditating upon, you know, the law, statutes, commandments, the word of Yahweh Shema Shah. You know, he desired, you know, the right thing, man. And so the Lord gave him wisdom at his own desire. And we know through us obtaining wisdom, what did he say in Wisdom Solomon 6? He says, if your delight be in thrones and scepters, honor wisdom, right? So let's go back. I don't want to make this too long. Galatians 6 and 8, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the spirit, right? And we just got some examples of how you sow to the spirit, shall of the spirit reap life everlasting. And that's what we want. We want these immortal bodies, man. Right? It says, and because by us sowing to the flesh, right? Going back, you know, with Eve in the garden, right? Sowing to the flesh, right? What did humanity, what was the fruits of sowing to the flesh? Corruption. You die, all right? You discontinue from your heritage. You're called Americans. That's corruption, man. All right. Verse 9 says, and let us not be weary in well-doing. And this is a well-doing, you know, what Yahweh Shema Shai has called us to do. Right. First and foremost, he's given us his truth, showed us his true names, given us our heritage back, right? Giving us understanding of these scriptures. And now he's equipped, you know, us to teach, right? And even if you're not in the lot or office of a teacher, right, you're still doing well by continuing in the things which you've learned, practicing them, being doers of the word, not hearers only. So, and let us not be weary in well doing. I want to go into that word weary real quick.
Strong's G 1573, Ahchyam.
All right. And it says to be utterly spiritless, to be wearied out, exhausted. So Paul's telling us, man, hey, with the spirit through Paul's telling us, don't be exhausted in doing this work, man. Right. And you know, Elder Rakah, I did a video a couple of days back speaking about how we got to be fervent, you know, fervent for this truth. Fervent means on fire. If you're fervent, you're not exhausted. Now, of course, we're in this flesh, right? And there's going to be times to where, you know, this flesh gets tired. Like Yahweh Shah said in Matthew 26, the flesh is salaki, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, right? And that's where we got to pray and ask Yahweh Shema Shah to equip us, you know, with the spirit, you know, of vigor, the spirit of fervency, and he'll give it unto us, man. He'll never uphold any good thing, you know, from his sons. Right? We got to remember that. So with you know, us sometimes getting weary, right? Just simply pray. Pray, you know. So he says, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season, meaning at the right time, we shall reap if we faint not. Yeah, that's right. At the right time, all we got to keep doing is keep our hand to the plow and keep sowing, keep sowing, keep sowing. Right? Keep sowing to the spirit, and in due time you're going to reap if you faint not. So there's a clause in the contract, if you will reap only if you don't faint. Now let's grab this real quick in Sirach 51 and verse 30. Work your work be times, and in his time he will give you your reward. Yeah, let's read that again. Work your work be times, meaning work your work, you know, at the right time. Work your work, you know, while it's day, if you will. Same thing that Yahweh Shah says. I want to say in John the 9th chapter, right? I must work while it is light, while it is day. For the night cometh when no man can work. And in his time, he will give you your reward. So yeah, I want to get that in G&T real quick. Although, we already broke it down, but just kind of brings it out a little more. Sirach 51:30 in G&T. Do your duty. See, do your duty. And what's the duty? Ecclesiastes 12:13. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this the whole duty of man. Do your duty at the proper time. And the Lord, at the time he thinks proper, will give you your reward. Yeah, that's right. So we're just simply waiting on Yahweh Shema Shah, man. All right. Just as Noah didn't know the exact day, right? When the Lord's going to say, all right, wrap it up, you know. who knows how long that boat was finished before the Lord, pretty much they told him, hey, close these doors, put the animals in, close the doors on, it's about to rain. We don't know. All right. But Noah worked his work. He did his duty at the proper time. And at the time the Lord saw fit, that's when Noah received his reward, and the evildoers received their reward on the left-hand side as well. See? So let's go back. Yeah, that was it on Galatians. So let's get this in 1 Timothy 4:14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee. Now let's go into this word neglect real quick, because that gift that's in us is what? The gift of understanding. The Holy Spirit. Neglect is what? To be careless of, to neglect. Yeah. You're careless of this gift that the Lord has given you. Careless goes into it's a compound word. Care means to be concerned, and less means less of, or not enough of, right? And that's our people, man. By and large, they don't care. They're not concerned with the gift that's been given unto us, man. See, let us not, Salakia, where's that? Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on, Salakia, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Meditate upon these things, right? See, right, what we just read in Sirach 6th chapter. Meditate upon these things, give yourself wholly to them, meaning your whole mind, body, and soul, that your profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto yourself. Yeah, pay attention to yourself. That comes with inward examination. All right. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this you shall both save thyself and them that hear thee, man. So it's much bigger, than just ourselves. It extends our obedience, our consistency, our steadfastness, and us continue to fight is going to profit, more than just us. It's going to profit those that hear us, right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. So get this real quick in Hebrews 10th chapter. Hebrews 10:23 says, let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering. For he that is faithful, so like for he is faithful that promise. Yeah, that's right. You got to hold fast, meaning to cling on to the profession of our faith. And the fact that we can profess our faith is a gift. The fact that we have faith is a gift. Was it Ephesians 2:8, Wisdom Solomon 3rd chapter? All right. We'll get this real quick on Revelation 3:11. Behold, I come quickly. As Yahweh Shah speaking, he says, hold that fast which thou hast. What do we have? We have this truth, the profession, right? This testimony that no man take thy crown. Yeah, and we're going to obtain that crown by what? By us holding fast, man. And also by us, by our testimony, which is our profession, pursuant to what? Revelation 12:11. It says, let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering. For he that, and wavering goes to what? You being tossed to and fro. You getting wobbly, getting exhausted, getting weary in the mind. And this is where Satan is working at, man. With brothers, myself included. He tries to attack you in the mind, right? What do he say in Luke 22? Luke 22. in verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you. See, Satan wants us, man. And we know that Satan works through the spiritual, it's like he works through the physical counterpart, which is Esau, Edom, right? And also the spiritual demon, Satan, tries to, he wants us, man, right? And how does he oftentimes, attack us? Through our mind. This is why it's written in Ephesians 6 chapter, right? That we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual powers and wickedness in high places. It says, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. And who is Simon? Simon is Peter, which is the rock of the church, man. And Satan wanted him. All right, so how much more us? You go into that word sift is what?
Strong's G 4617, Siniazo.
All right. To sift, to shake and to sieve. Oh, what do Yahweh say in Amos 9? He says, for he will sift the house of Israel amongst all nations. And that sifting is going to, it comes, through agitation, pretty much was about to break it down. Figuratively by inward agitation to try one's faith to the verge of overthrow, and the Lord is sifting Israel right now, man. We don't want to be sifted out, right? And he allows Satan to sift us, but the only ones that won't be sifted or shaken is the elect, right? They're going to stand fast. And that's what we desperately want, man. We want to be a part of that number that's going to stand fast, but it starts with you sowing into the spirit, man. No matter how tired you are, every day is not going to be the same. Some days you have your spiritual highs, and some days you have your spiritual lows. And honestly, just speaking, more of those days, it's more low days than it is high days, man. Because we're in this flesh, we have a lot of things working against us. But Yahweh Shema Shah's spirit is still equipping us with the strength, and the mental and spiritual fortitude to continue to keep pushing. So going back to where's that? Yeah, right here, verse 24. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. Yeah, that's right. Push one another, unto good works. Right? Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together, as the manner of some is. Yeah, this is a time to where you should be, coming in closer, man, to the body. Don't forsake the body. All right. If you cut your arm off, if you cut your forearm off from the rest of your body or whatnot, it's going to eventually rot out. It's going to eventually die. Right. And we make up, the body of Yahweh Shah. So all the members are going to have to be attached, man. Full of life, functioning exactly how they're supposed to. Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so the much more as you see the day approaching. According to this word exhorting, it's parakleo, to call to one side, call for, summon. All right, yeah, you're calling for him. Every time you see you could call a brother, right? You summon him. All right, that's one way. Or you see a video get dropped, right? You subscribe to it, whatnot. You see a pop up on your phone. That's like a calling, man. Right? It says to instruct, to teach, to encourage, to strengthen, exhorting, comforting, encouraging, to console. And that's what the body is for, man. To instruct, to teach, to comfort. Because we need comfort in these times, man. These some hard times that we're living in. Right? It says, but exhorting one another, and it's only going to be harder too. Right? So this is why Yahweh Shema Shah is building us up, before Jacob's trouble breaks loose, man. All right, so we can have the roots, if you will, have our roots, deep. So when the winds do come, we won't be shaken, man. It says, but exhorting one another, and so the much more as you see the day approaching. Now I'm gonna skip down here. to verse see, verse 35. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence. And what's this confidence that we have? Us believing that Yahweh Shema Shah is going to come through. That's our confidence. So we can't cast that away. Neglect it. Says, which have great recompense of reward. Yeah, we understand that the great pay and the great dividends that this reward has, man. Because Yahweh Shema Shah stamped his name on it, man. It says, for you have need of patience, meaning that you need it, man. We need it. Right? That after you have done the will of the Most High, you might receive the promise. So going into this word patience is what?
Strong's G 5281. Upamane.
All right. Steadfastness, constancy. See, constancy, that's synonymous with consistency, man. Endurance. Yep. The race is not given to the swift, but he that, endureth, roughly paraphrasing. In the New Testament, the characteristic of a man who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose. See, meaning there's nothing you can do, to distract that man. His mind, he has a single eye, as Yahushua says in Matthew the 6th chapter. That's how we have to have laser focus upon the goal and the task at hand, man. Now, of course, through that, once again, sometimes his flesh, will kick in, because we are, subject unto what does it say? Subject unto vanity, as it says in Romans the 8th chapter, right? But yet we're also made prisoners of hope. So we hope, man, that through Yahushua's, through Yahushua's sacrifice, that he's gonna give us he's already given us everything we need, man, to overcome, to be persistent, and consistent and deliberate on this purpose. It says, of a man who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith. See, loyalty to faith here, like Caleb, which Caleb's name means dog, and dogs are known for what? Being loyal. See, so there's plenty of examples, man, right, of men standing stiffly, for Yahweh Shema Shah. And that's what he's calling us to do, man. These trials and tribulations that he's putting us through, right, is all for us to pretty much. Let me grab this real quick. Luke 21 is all for us to be formed and conform to his image. So Luke 21 and 19. In your patience, meaning in your constancy, your steadfastness, possess ye your souls. Get an NLT. By standing firm, you will win your souls. Whew. By standing firm, man, 10 toes down. And it's going to be times to where it's like, shit, man, I don't know. But you got to keep walking by faith. All right. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, man. It says, characteristic of a man who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith and piety by even the greatest trials and suffering. So even the greatest trials and sufferings won't knock you down, man. Just read through the scriptures, man. We got plenty of examples. Read when you read First Maccabees, the 2nd chapter, right? It lists, a couple of our notable forefathers, man, who were known for being constant, steadfast through their trials and tribulations. And everybody's trials and tribulations are going to be different, right? But no matter what your lot is, right, you got to stand fast in it, man, so you can receive this reward. Verse 36, for you have need of patience, that after you have done the will of the Most High, you might receive the promise. It says, for yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. Yeah, that's right. Just like the book of Habakkuk says, man. For though it tarry, wait for it, for it will surely come. All right. So though it seems like Yahweh Shai's tarrying, it's like, dang, man, he ain't come back yet. Hey, just wait. And in the process of waiting, you're being built up like a plant. Because remember, this word is known as into a seed, pursuant to what? Luke 8 and 11. And when you plant a seed, you just can't expect, the fruit, that seed to grow to be a tree overnight, and you can eat apples the next morning. No, you got to wait for it. That's why Yahweh Shai is taking his time, man. Seems like, but we see, we see how he's amping things up just by looking at the movements upon planet Earth. Let's get this real quick. This is James 5 and verse 7. You see the title, exhortation. Be patient, therefore, brethren, meaning wait. And patient also goes to suffering, because it hurts while you wait. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of Yahweh Shai. Behold, meaning to look, the husbandman waiteth. See, so Yahweh by Shema Shai is waiting, man. What is he waiting for? The husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth. And what's those precious fruit? The elect, man. And have long patience for it until he receive the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient. So we had to be patient along with the husbandman, Yahweh by Shema Shai. Husbandman is a farmer, and he planted us, man. He planted us, and he's waiting until we produce those fruits that when he come to town. And it's already written that when he comes, there's going to be some, they're going to be barren, and he's going to curse them, man. You can read that in, I want to say like Matthew, can't remember which chapter it was, right? But you don't want to be that plant, that tree that's not producing fruit. So while you're waiting, you got to be producing this fruit. And how do you do that? You sow unto the spirit. Be ye also patient. Establish your hearts, meaning stabilize your mind, for the coming of Yahweh Shai draweth nigh. That's right, man. NLT, you too must be patient. Take courage, for the coming of the Lord is near. Woo! We'll end it out. Hebrews 10 and 38. Now the just, now who's the just? The justified is the elect, shall live by faith. That's how we live, man. We live by faith. Hey, that's all he's given us, man, is faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, meaning destruction. Yeah, you go back into the world. We're not of those type. We're not of that class of people to receive of this truth and then turn back. Lord willing, he keep us, man. Because when you turn back into the world, you're turning back into destruction, man. That's just like a fireman pulling you out the fire. And you're like, whew, I'm glad I'm out this fire. And then you like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna go back in that fire. It doesn't make any sense. But we are not of them who draw back into perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul, man. That's right. Because that's the end result of us patiently enduring and keeping this faith. Our souls are going to be saved. Our spirits, man. We're going to be caught up with those immortal bodies, man. So, that's pretty much it on that. I just wanted to, comfort and exhort, you brothers, you Ahchyam and Ahchyam, you brothers and sisters. So, Lord willing, y'all were comforted. Until next time, DTA Baba Kwame Sharala Shalom.